Hello,
Welcome to the
everyone. Good afternoon. Good evening.
Hi, Pace. We can hear you. Welcome, Samuel. So, welcome to the official launch of Simplex. My name is, for anyone that don't know my name here, my name is Eunice, and today I'm excited to be guiding you through the first session of the first part of today's meeting. So before we go into the proper launch, we would be having a very brief but insightful conversation around AI marketing and the future of content creation, most especially for the business owners, the creators, and marketers. And with me, I'll be having the conversation with someone very, very important. He's the founder and uh, the chief vision officer for Simplex, and he's a leader and is passionate about helping small business owners and marketers, to create differently, to create smartly. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome with me, Solomon Cole, as we have a discussion. Welcome, Solomon.
Hi, Eunice. Hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank
Thank you
you
so
so
much
much.
for that amazing intro.
Thank you, Solomon. Thank you for the honor. We didn't take it for granted. So, because of time, we'll be going straight into the conversation, and We'll be discussing about AI first. Can you hear me, Solomon?
Yes, I can hear you. I think,
Okay, so we'll be talking about AI and content creation. So, most small businesses, the struggle when it comes to consistency in content, in when it comes to creating content, the consistency for most small businesses, it's always like an issue for them. So how would you say AI is bridging this gap of inconsistency when it comes to creating content?
all right. Thank you very much, Eunice. First of all, I think we need to look at what consistency means and how it affects business owners. Most times, that gets to affect productivity and the output in terms of revenue. So they get to have setbacks in these areas. But how does AI come in to ensure that they can overcome this friction? So one, consistency means that they are able to gain revenue and they're able to gain maybe time to focus on real productivity areas of their business. So AI as a tool can help in all of these areas. Of course, not limited to this. And it's I remember when I was in secondary school, I did a topic in physics called machines, and machine, based on the definition, is any tool or object that helps you to do work more efficiently and saves you time in the process. So consistency, would become possible when you have a tool that helps you save time and become more efficient. And that's basically what AI is. It's just a machine, it's a tool, So um, there are a lot of tools out there that does all of this, and invariably they might not be perfect for all of the use cases. However, it's reaching a point where you can rely on them as co-workers, as as colleagues, as partners to get your work done, especially in areas that you feel overwhelmed or burdened. You know, Um, and the ROI on that most times is that you either save cost or you save time. Just the same way an average machine would help you save time and cost. Because every time we think about AI, we usually just forget that it is the end goal that matters for many small businesses. And that consistency only happens when you are able to define those end goals. And those end goals is you have to understand, does it save you time? Does it save you money? And does it make the work more efficient? So if you ever did physics, always remember that AI is just a machine, and a machine is just a tool that helps you save time and money. And once you understand this, then streamline it in your business for consistency based on the tools that you get to pick for whatever use case that you are considering. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Solomon. And thank you for that analogy you used when you said AI is just like a machine. And also thank you for also giving that, clarity on the fact that, AI won't just help you to save time. AI will also help you to save money. Thank you so much. So let's move on to the next question. The next question is still talking about AI because, of course, Simplex in itself is a tool, is an AI tool. So the next question will still talk about AI. When it comes to creativity in terms of human creativity, people often get confused when it comes to AI. Like, what's your own take when it comes to being creative with AI? Some people feel that. Do you think AI will make you more creative, or AI will just make humans more like an editor, or more like a strategist, or AI will make you more creative? So what's your take on it?
Well, I
Somebody
think
is saying something in the comment section. You can't hear me.
I think he said he can't hear anyone. Um, can you
Who's
try
that?
to Franco Blot? Can you try to leave and join back? Maybe it could be your network, perhaps, because I'm sure every other person can hear us. You can try to leave and join back. Let's see if it helps.
Yes, you can also check your audio output.
All right. So whilst Franco Blot is trying to figure out that, I would respond to that question. So, um, you know, AI is, like I said, a tool, a machine. It has no emotions. It's it only can think, you know, and thinking means you are using logic, you know. But when it comes to humans, we are we are made of emotions, you know. That's what basically sets us apart from machines. Aside from the fact that we think, we also have emotions. But machines are just machines. They only think. We've programmed them to be able to think. They cannot, you know, feel, you know. So the feeling is what makes us creative, you know, and that is what differentiates human from machines creativity, you know. And from marketing, um, or content creation, it's an act of creativity plus logical thinking. If you want to do marketing properly, you must understand human psychology. If you want to really reach your audience using content, you must not only know the data, but you must also understand how to appeal to them. You know, so you have to know how to bridge that balance between creativity and logic. You know, so that's where AI, would need human creativity, which I think right now a lot of AI tools are being trained to understand how humans think, feel, but it can never be as creative as the human mind. You know, especially when it comes to to fields like marketing. It's highly requires human creativity. Because you have to create complex, for instance, designs. We have to create complex videos. Machine cannot know what the next person, you're creating that thing for, would feel when they see that creation. So ultimately, um, human and AI should complement each other in such a way that you use the tool as a companion to balance up your creativity, because you are not as perhaps fast, efficient as the tool, and the tool is not as creative, as you are. So you use the tool to create that balance between your creativity and and logic. So that's basically how you can make the best use of AI tools. Understanding that it has limits when it comes to feeling creativity, and then you have to fill that gap up. And then by the time you are able to create that balance, then you would be the best when it comes to understanding and application of AI tools, especially as regards to marketing, because marketing is both analytics and emotional intelligence. You know.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Solomon. So, in essence, what you are trying to say is we should, in order to get the best from AI, we should complement it, not solely depend on it. We should we should put, as human, we should put in our the emotional part of us in order to get the best from AI. Thank you so much for that. Thank you so much. So, we'll be moving on to the next questions, and still on that AI. I want you to shed more light when it comes to fragmentation. For most tools today, for most tools today, or most marketers and most creators today, we tend to do most of our work on different platforms. Some people create on Canva, then you edit on another platform, then you create copy on another platform. When it comes to unifying all this in a single platform like Simplex, how is Simplex, what is the role of Simplex, what's the role of Simplex in bringing all this into a single platform? Do you get my question? Or I should repeat myself. Do you get my question?
Yes, I do. I
You
do.
do. Thank you.
Um, Perhaps for those who may not be aware of Simplex, maybe you want to do a quick intro for them, because I'm sure there might be a few persons who might just be hearing about Simplex for the first time. So um, you you may want to quickly give an overview of Simplex before I answer the question, or do you want me to go ahead to answer the question and give the overview?
You can just do that and then answer the question altogether.
Okay, so that's a very lovely question, Eunice. Fragmentation is a big pain point for a lot of businesses, especially the small ones, small and medium-sized ones, when it comes to marketing. Marketing in itself, it's more or less like a web of activity. It's an orchestration. You need many hands and parts to get things done from brainstorming, from ideation to creating strategy, and then, you know, reaching your audience. And it doesn't won't stop there. You have to monitor, the outcome of the results, of the audience you've reached based on, what you've created or imagined from your creation to reach your target audience. So apparently, you you realize that it is a chain of processes, and for you to successfully do that, you need to streamline it if you don't want to get um, ineffective results. So that fragmentation of the process where you have to ideate, maybe using another platform, another tool, and then for you to create, you go to another platform or another tool. Then for you to then distribute, you go to another platform, another tool. It's it's a big friction for small business, small and medium-sized businesses. Not only is it a big friction for them, it costs them a lot of money and it costs them time. So these are the pain points when it comes to tool fragmentation in marketing. I remember, and this is not new. Even back in the days before digital marketing or before the involvement of digital marketing, creative agencies, advertising houses usually have a very long process when it comes to. I think there's a sound from somewhere. I don't know if it's from my end.
Okay,
There's
it sounds.
yeah, but it's fine now. So creative advertising agencies usually have a long process where they go through a discovery process. Then the creative director, you know, comes up with a concept and an idea where they now um, you know conceptualize, and then it comes to the actual creation that they want to promote on screens, which is what you now see as your advertising. So all of that usually takes a whole lot of process from the conceptualization and then the distribution to the different screens. But now, with modern advertising or modern media, marketing has been made a whole lot easier in terms of the entire chain and processing involved. But even at that, it's still fragmented. It's still, disconnected. So Simplex basically, which is our tool, the Rethink multimodal AI tool, is helping businesses streamline the entire marketing process, so they don't have to ideate, because you for marketing you need content, and the goal for every business is to make profit. For you to make profit, you need sales, and for sales you need marketing. So content needs marketing. Sorry, marketing needs content. Needs marketing. But all of these processes are disjointed. So Simpli's goal is to now make businesses get sales or generate profits by ensuring that it can streamline their marketing activities all the way from ideation, creating the content needed for your marketing, and then the channel where you want to reach your audience. So it's basically a campaign focused multimodal marketing channel to help you reach your audience and let them know about your services or your products for you to increase sales for your business. So it streamlines all of these activities in one place. So you don't have to jump from tool to tool. You don't have to switch tabs when you're creating. You do everything in one place. So think about it like you not having to jump from ChatGPT, which is one of the most common generative AI tool today for ideation. You don't have to go to Canva for visual content creation, and then maybe go to CapCut for video editing. Simplex just simply helps you do everything in one place. So you do your ideation there, you do your creation there, whatever the content type is done there, and then it doesn't even stop there. It takes you to distribution to reach your desired audience based on where you want them. So if your desired audience on social media, you can distribute to those channels, whether on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, LinkedIn, Instagram, wherever. So it's a process that has been streamlined from A to Z, from ideation to distribution, for you to now reach your desired audience and make more profits for your business. So that's what Simplest does, and that's how it's solving the problem of content creation fragmentation. I hope that answers the question.
Yes, exactly. It does. Thank you so much for that. From what you said, Simplex is a multimodal AI platform that basically helps its audience, which are small business owners, creators, marketers, takes them from ideation into creating their content and then distribution. So basically taking you from the initial work into the final stage, which is the distribution in just one single platform. Thank you so much for that. If you are just joining this call, this session, today we are launching Simplex, which Solomon has just given us a detailed breakdown of what Simplex is about. And this session, this part is we just discussing, having a few conversation on AI and also how AI is shaping, most importantly, content and also marketing. So my last question for you, Solomon, will be, you've explained to us what Simplex is all about. We just want to have like a little insight into what went in your mind, what brought about you creating this platform, this AI tool called Simplex.
All right, thanks for that question, Eunice. Um, I think Simplex is a creation of. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Okay, so Simplex is a creation of necessity. You know, it's it's basically as a result of trying to help small businesses when I was freelancing as a marketer or working as a um, consultant as a marketer, and I noticed that there were a lot of loopholes in the process because when it comes to marketing, like I said earlier, you can't do everything alone. You need to work with others because it's a chain of activities and processes. So eventually, I realized I always needed to work with agencies and other freelancers to get work delivered to clients. So the process was broken, up to the point that um, I realized that it's either when the work is delivered, it takes a lot of time, and sometimes it falls short of quality based on the expectations of the client. And all of this was, really affecting my own reputation and credibility based on the deliverabilities of the projects. So I had to think of a way to solve these pain points, not just for the my own client, but for myself, because for me to be able to get consistency in terms of the result, it means I needed to handle it more efficiently and effectively. So while I was thinking of a way to solve this problem using a tool or a process and all of that, that was how, you know, Simplex, the idea of using AI to solve this was born, and that was basically what gave birth to Simplex. So, which is why we are driven. Our mission is to, you know, enable 1 million businesses by 2030 to leverage AI to become profitable, and that's simply because they are the ones that inspired Simplex, because we we were looking for a solution to support them to become more efficient and more profitable. And that informs is the reason why we are making it our mission to use this tool that they inspired to support more SME owners by 2030. So that's basically what inspired Simplex. You know.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Solomon. Thank you. You did not just did the market research, you were once having that pain as a freelancer, just as you said. Thank you so much. Okay, so that will be all for the conversation we have on AI and content. I believe everyone here we gain a lot of insight from what Solomon has said, and this is just to show us how AI is unlocking a lot of things when it comes to marketing, and also especially for small business owners, creators, and marketers. So at this point, we'll be having the launch, the official launch that we all came here for. I'll be handing over to Prince. Prince is the head of the dev team at Simplex, and he'll be taking us through the launch, the demo, and be giving us a deep dive into Simplex. Prince, are you ready?
Yes, I'm here. So
Okay,
you
can just.
thank you so much. This was such an insightful, uh, gathering. So
Thank you.
yeah, I'm going to go through like a couple flows of how Simplex is meant to work and how it's meant to help creators and how it's meant to help small business owners, people without understanding of things like marketing and how to distribute content, and uh, people that find it hard to uh, fund this type of endeavors and grow their business. They just want to grow their business. They want to generate more leads. They want to get more eyes on their users. There are a lot of things that go into marketing. And luckily, we have good marketers in our team. So it's a culmination of knowledge of experts trying to use that knowledge to then help apply AI, apply some automation principles, and help users. So let me quickly share my screen to give a brief overview on how we want to accomplish these things at Simplex. Uh, so I'm sharing my entire screen. This is Simplex. Um, After the meeting, I would be sharing the link to people. Everyone that signs up gets free 400 credits to test out the platform, use it to generate content, do whatever you want, and just give us your feedback because it's an MVP. So and Simplex, what do business owners want to do? What do people that want to get eyes on their business, what they do? They create content, they create campaigns, they leverage social media to try and get those eyes on them, to try and create some eye catching content, or even engaging content that would be very useful that would bring more engagement to them. So we built Simplex around the idea of running campaigns, creating content, scheduling those contents to be distributed at specific times, essentially. So on Simplex, you can actually come to our campaign page. It's just a quick tutorial. If you want to create content, you want to distribute that content to your users, you just you could create a campaign and schedule that campaign to send out the post at specific days, at specific times of day. As part of a premium feature, we're going to incorporate Simplex with high level marketing tools like the tools from Google and Facebook, but it's for now it's not available, but it's going to be part of the premium. And as we roll out more features in the coming days, in the coming weeks, we're excited to help for you guys to test it out and interact with it. So on Simplex, you can create a campaign. This is a campaign I created beforehand, just to make this session a bit quicker, because I tend to talk a lot, spend my time talking a lot. But this is some of the content that has been generated by our 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 agents, essentially, using our knowledge base to generate them. So we are going to actually go through the flow of how you can generate content on Simplex, how you can generate content for your campaign on Simplex. As you can see, this campaign name is Simplex. The goal of the campaign is to generate sales and conversion, generate engagement, and the timeline that was given for this campaign was between 26th of November to 29th of November. But let's move on to the content generation aspect of Simplex. Sorry, give me okay. So here we are. When you click on generate content, you get directed to this page. You get a brief, overview of Rai. Hi, I'm Rai, your AI assistant. We have some pre-filled, things you can use to start up, startup prompts, or you can use from our prompt templates here to generate specific pre-filled prompts. But for this, we'll just do something very simple. But you have a host of options to pick from. But let's do something really simple. Let's say you have your brand, and maybe your brand is you're trying to create merchandise, but the merchandise is anime themed merchandise. I really like anime, so I tend to use anime for testing. Anime themed merchandise. So when you sign up to Simplex, you actually get onboarded. There's an onboarding flow that you go through so we can better understand you as a customer. This account has not, it has been onboarded actually. So as you can see, these things were not filled here. They were pre-filled because we have some memory from the user. We have some info from the user. So using that, we're able to craft the users like outputs and the prompts to be better, essentially. So I'm going to generate different variants of the content. I'm going to generate different variants of the text. So essentially all I'm going to give it is anime merchandise. I just want to, you can just do a rough draft, and you can improve on this actually later on. But there are more complex prompts, there are more complex options. We have things here so you can have a good base to start from. But for me, we're just going to put anime merchandise, and we're just going to roll with this and click on generate content. So what is happening here is when we click on generate content, our Rai is taking all the information that it knows about the user, plus the prompts and the data you gave it to, and it's going to use that to craft targeted prompts, specific type of prompts that can then be used to generate the kind of content that you need as a user. So due to the fact that there are different variations and different things that are going on, it may take maybe anywhere from 5 to 10 to 15 seconds to generate. But once it generates, you get a base for the prompts for what is going to be generated. This is not necessarily technical. It just gives you an overview of, this is what is going to be generated, but this is not what we're using to generate it. For that, you go to the individual prompts. So from this, you can actually understand, what you can get to see and understand the type of output that is going to come out from whatever you're generating, the content you're trying to generate. Even if you're a non-technical person, our agent has given you this base that you can work with, and you'd be like, okay, an article segment, because we have article agents, we have agents that do multiple things. So the topic is how simplex. So you use simplex, which was, I did not put simplex, but it inferred from the brand memory, the brand info that was done during onboarding. I will probably walk you through the onboarding flow later on, or you guys can test it out, interact with it. After this, we'll share you the link for simplex so everybody can play around with it and just generate content for free. Everyone that signs up gets, as I said, 400 credits to play with. So we have the style of storytelling. This is based on our initial data that we provided during onboarding when you sign up for simplex. So yeah, so this is an overview. We have multiple text prompts that we're trying to generate. So it chose the kind of text prompt you want to generate for. So it chose a blog introduction or a social media post. You can actually come in here and just choose whichever one, change it up and be like, no, I don't want social media post. I want a blog post. Like you can interact with this and save it. And it's going to be reflective on the content that is generated. So essentially, now this is the image prompt that comes out. I don't want to spend too much time on this, but essentially we are generating content, generating like merchandise content. So what I put there was anime merchandise for Simplex, which is with the brand that is stored, that we have information all at Simplex. So I put about 3 variations for that for the image. So it generated different variations of the image that's going to be generated, and very soon everyone is going to see the output of the generation. So I just click on go, and we can takes everything is being generated in parallel, so it shouldn't take long. We're using very efficient models in the background to generate all this content. So yeah, give it maybe 10-15 seconds and the images will be generated, but the images are very high quality, so they take more time to generate, but just give it some time. So the 3 variations of the images have been generated. So if I had read through the initial, the initial prompt, I would have been like, well, no, I don't want a Japanese woman. So if you notice in the beginning, we actually had specific brand colors that were defined, but I didn't change them. So it used those brand colors, used everything to generate these images. Like you don't like these images, you don't like them, or maybe the color is not your thing. You can actually come here. You have like a manual editor for people that like can toggle specific things. You can modify specific things. There's some things you want to change. You want to add text. You want to crop the image. You want to, different things can be implemented here. But let's leave that for now. You can actually regenerate the image. You can view the image. You can view the prompt that was used to generate the image. But let's try and regenerate this image. There are different variations. We don't like the image that came out, but we have access to the initial prompt that generated the image, so we can actually change specific things here manually. But in the future, there will be like a button here that it will just refresh the prompt and give you like because we're trying to make things so much easier for people. So essentially, you can manually change the prompt. And the thing about these models is they are so deterministic. But let's see if I can manually change this. Maybe I can say the race of the character is white American. Okay, I know why it chose. I know why it chose a Japanese woman, because it's anime and it's Japanese. But yeah, let's it's regenerating that specific image, and you get a second variation of the image. So it generated it based on the imprint prompt that was given, and actually removed the woman in like totally. So one thing we're going to do in the coming days, as I said, it's an MVP, it's a work in progress. But one thing we're going to do is we are going to actually give you the opportunity to directly edit specific things on the image using AI. So let's say you don't want maybe this stuff, you can directly highlight this and give it a prompt, and it's gonna remove that stuff while retaining every other thing from the image. Right now, you're editing the initial prompt, but going forward, that's not how it's gonna be. So we have different text here. We can actually preview the text. This is how it's gonna look when you see it. You can manually edit the text here too. You can also regenerate the text, based on just a manual regeneration. But for this image, we have different variations of the image. This one too, and this one, we can actually view the images, and this is what came out. If we see more about it, we'll be able to see some information about us, and then you can actually combine during the content distribution phase. You can actually combine the prompts and combine the text and the image to distribute the content that you want to distribute. You can download all, but let's move on to the next step, which is this is the campaign. Like, we're trying to save it to our campaign, because there was a campaign here, and so we're trying to save all this content to the campaign so we can use it for distribution. So once we've saved it, we get redirected to this specific campaign page, and we can view all the content here that has been generated. You get like your gallery of content. You can group it by how was it generated. So they have campaign groups, and this is the previous one that was generated. You can see this one, and you can see this one. So the different content that was generated. Well, let's view all the content, and let's select the one we want to distribute. So right now we're trying to support about 3 platforms, but right now in production, only one platform is fully supported. But we're trying to support about 3 platforms, so we can actually select this tool. We can actually also generate audio if you need to generate audio, depending on what you're trying to do. You can you can change the voice, the type of voice you want, and in the future, we're going to be able to train based on your voice that you are. Like, if you want your own voice, or if you have like a person that you really like their voice, you can provide that voice, and we would, give you text to speech based on that particular voice. So these are just like previews for the platforms that you want to send it to. You can connect to Instagram, connect to TikTok. It used the caption that we selected as the preview. So let's say we don't want, so we use the text as the caption actually. So we don't want this. You can just reduce it and say, join us at Simplex. As you can see, it's very hyper realistic. You can choose to publish directly, or we can schedule the post. So I'm going to schedule the post to be posted on a later date. So let's put 27th of February, put a time, let's say 10 a.m. And yeah, and schedule the post. Post has been scheduled. We can view it in the scheduler, in our schedules. This is it. Join us at Simplex at 27th of this month. So this post is going to go out. This was the post I previously scheduled. This post is going to go out on that day and get published to your TikTok account, or whatever account that was selected. So this is how you can go about, creating your campaigns. You schedule, you can create different variations of specific images, create different text to go about those images, even create audio to go with those images, or even videos to go about with your content, and constantly iterate on it till you're satisfied, and then distribute it, and then schedule it to when it get posted, and and all that. So let me see if we can quickly, so the major one that is actually supported to an extent is actually um LinkedIn. So you don't need to connect for now. We're going to use the main LinkedIn API, but for now, we can just publish this text to LinkedIn, and we'll get redirected to our LinkedIn with this populated on our LinkedIn feed. You guys shouldn't look at my my LinkedIn feed, but so it's going to populate here that we should post it. So just give it some time, and anime merch your dreams. So not everything was sent, but I can actually, as you can see, we can transfer the data from our platform directly to LinkedIn and post it. We should be able to do we should be able to attach. So this is how it works now, but in future we won't even need to come to LinkedIn directly. We can just post and it gets posted directly to LinkedIn, and you go to your LinkedIn and you see that we've posted on your behalf. But you have to, obviously, you have to give us permission to do that. You have to connect to our app with your social media account. So this is just a brief overview of Simplex. As I said, you guys can play with it, the content generation aspects, and do a lot of things with it. There's gonna be analytics, on your content that is generated. Right now, it's a teaser. There's nothing there, but like there's gonna be things like analytics, whereby any content that you've posted from our platform, we're going to track that content to see how well that content is doing, and you can then do things like A/B testing. Essentially, we're going to provide non-marketing people and even marketing people with, the tools that you need to run successful campaigns at Simplex. So I don't know if there's any questions, if anything that you guys want to talk about. As I said, you can go through the flows yourself. Anybody that signs up, you get free access to it for until your credits run out. Yeah, but we're going to be constantly upgrading it as time goes on.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, Prince. That was awesome. I think marketing and content creation is just about to get easier, simpler with Simplex, right? Thank you so much for walking us through. And I believe as we all go to, check all these by ourselves, go over it, we'll get more familiar with the platform. Do we have any questions either from Solomon or from what Prince has walked us through? Do we have any question? Do anyone have any
Hi,
question?
good evening. I have a question.
Okay, Gold Akinjoye. Thank you. Is that
Hi,
Gold Akinjoye?
good evening. Yes, can we
Good
hear me?
evening. Yes, we can.
All right. So my question is, I fully understand. I fully understand the concept of the simple CX, but my question is because I'm into email marketing. So and most of the campaigns I send out, I do it on Klaviyo. So, like, is there any way? I don't know if the question makes sense, but is there any way I can incorporate this? Is there any way I can incorporate this with, my email marketing platform?
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much for that question, Gold. Solomon, will you be answering the question or Prince?
I would answer, and then Prince would give more insights if there's a need.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So thanks a lot, Gold, for that wonderful question. Simplex eventually would be able to integrate with any tool at all, as far as the goal is for marketing to reach more audience based on your targets or use case. But for now, for our MVP, the use case is for social media distribution. That's our use case. But post MVP will be including e-commerce distribution, will be including email distribution, would also be including multi-channel advertising. But for now, we are just more focused on social media distribution. But in between, post MVP would be having tools like Canva, which is already popular, integrated into our platform. So it helps creators or marketers like you switch between the platforms or import or export files from that platform to Simplex or from Simplex to this platform, because we know some people some are tool agnostic, but some just love their tools. They don't want to move away from that tool, or they don't want to move away from that platform. So they want to stick to it. So because we know Canva, for instance, as an example for visual creation tool, a lot of people are already used to it. They may want to stick to it. Yeah, we will give you that liberty. We're not saying leave Canva to come to Simplex, we're saying we can connect you to Simplex through to Canva through Simplex or vice versa. So you can still use Canva whilst you're enjoying Simplex, or use Canva or use Simplex whilst you're enjoying Canva. So it's rather complements your efforts and your work. The same thing will happen for the email use cases. If you're using Klaviyo, it would give you that possibility to be able to um, integrate Klaviyo to create email campaigns to reach your desired audience. So but the email use case is not primarily a focus right now. For the MVP, it's mostly social media platforms. That's a primary focus for our MVP. But all of this we are going to be including, at a later time. It's part of our roadmap, what we have planned for our roadmap. Simplex is a very robust, concept, but we're taking it one step at a time. Hope that answers your question, Gold.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Solomon. We'll hope that clarify your questions. And then in bit of that, we'll just as Prince has said, as we continue with the post-launch, a lot of features are still going to be rolling out. So I'm just taking it one step at a time. And as we wrap up this session, I just want us to remember that Simplex is more than a tool. It is a community of creators, um, founders, marketers, business owners, whereby you come together and create differently. So we also have a community. We have Simplest Creators community where you can rub mind with like-minded people. You can get to know the updated features or features that will be coming in. You can get to ask your question, most especially the fact that we'll be going over this platform. If you have any question at all, I have sent the link to the community is in the chat box. Make sure you join, and we'll be happy to have you in our midst. We're happy to have you in our midst to answer all your questions or to give you clarity on. Prince, your hand is up. Do you want to say something?
Yeah, but I wanted you to finish first before I said something.
Oh, okay. So thank you so much for staying with us to this journey. And we can't wait to have you in the community. We can't wait to grow with you. We can't wait to grow the platform with you. We can't wait to hear from you, your ideas. We just want you to work. We just want you to go through over Simplex and let us know what you feel. What do you think we should improve on? What feature do you think we should add? We don't just want to create a tool for ourselves. We are creating it with you and for you. Thank you so much. So let's have Prince before we call it a day.
Yes, so buttressing on what Solomon and Eunice said, we are trying to be community focused, right? As a platform, so we are not just building for ourselves; we're building for community. So, Gold, thank you for the question. I personally believe that before I say I believe, we're actually setting up a feedback system which we are going to use to collect feedback and suggestions from the community. And this your suggestion seems very valuable to us. I would you said you're an email marketer. So since Simplex is going to be a community focused platform, I believe that especially in the starting phases, your suggestions or your use cases that you want to, use Simplex for, I think we would definitely try and prioritize some of these things, at least for our early users, our early adopters, to get you guys more familiarized and used to our platform and, um, basically just get you what you need, to use our platform to the best of your abilities. You understand? Because I don't want, I don't want that you as an email marketer, let's say you have to wait for long to, use those tools that you favor, like you really like, and those tools that make your flows simpler. The point of Simplex is to make things simple for you. So for our early adopters, we're generally taking suggestions, we're taking feedback, and we're going to use that feedback to shape Simplex into what everyone will be able to use for whatever they want to do. So that's just what I wanted to say. Specifically to Gold and anybody that is there.
Thank you. Thank you, Prince. Thank you for the more detailed, adding to what Simplex has said. Sorry, I'm already calling Solomon Simplex. Adding to what Solomon has said, thank you so much. And thank you to everyone that joined. We love you and we can't wait to have you build Simplex together and also have you in our community. Once again, the link to the community has been dropped in the comment section, just in the chat box rather. Just join and we'll love to have you. Thank you so much once again. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, Solomon. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Gold. Thank you, Prince. Thank you, Anat. Thank you, Samuel. Thank you, Deep. And to everyone, thank you.